start with something that might surprise you. Most veterinary practice owners are not struggling because they don't have enough data. They're struggling because they have too much of it. You've been told to know your numbers. You've been handed KPI dashboards. You've probably logged into QuickBooks and practice management software and seen page after page of reports. And yet, if you're honest, you probably still don't feel completely clear about your financial decisions. You might feel busy, you might feel productive, you might feel like you're reviewing things responsibly, but clarity, that's different. Tonight, we're not talking about tracking more metrics. We're talking about what to start looking at because clarity in leadership comes from filtering signals from noise. If you only remember one thing from this training, I want it to be this. Financial leadership is not about reviewing everything. It's about reviewing the right things. Every month, you should be able to sit down, look at a very small set of reports, and answer 3 core questions about your practice. If you cannot answer those questions quickly and confidently, then either you're looking at the wrong reports or you're looking at too many. What I see over and over inside veterinary hospitals is owners drowning in detail. They flip through production reports, payroll summaries, expense breakdowns, benchmarking packets, vendor comparisons, and multi-page dashboards. It feels thorough, it feels disciplined. But when I ask, what decision did that information help you make? There's usually a pause. Reports are not for entertainment. They're not for reassurance. They are not for checking a box. They exist to guide your decisions. Tonight, I'm going to narrow down your focus to 3 reports that actually change behavior monthly. And then we'll talk about the 7 that usually don't. I want to go over a question that I had from a client this week. It was from a practice owner. They said, we review our reports every month, but I still don't feel confident making decisions. How do I know which ones actually matter? That question is the entire reason for this training, because most practices aren't failing to look at their numbers, they're failing to filter their numbers. They're reviewing 8, 9, sometimes 10 different reports every month and still walking away unsure about hiring, unsure about payroll pressure, unsure about cash. So today we're going to simplify this. We're going to separate signals from noise. If we haven't met before, my name is Cassie. I work almost exclusively with veterinary practice owners, and what I care about most is helping you make confident financial decisions without feeling buried in spreadsheets. I'm not interested in you memorizing ratios or becoming your own accountant. I'm interested in you feeling steady. Because I've seen what happens when practice owners don't feel steady. They hesitate to hire even when they need help. They avoid raising prices even when margins are tight. They delay paying themselves because they're unsure if the money is really there. And almost always, that hesitation isn't because the practice is failing, it's because the signals are buried under the noise. The goal isn't to track more, it's to filter better. Let's start with the income statement, your P&L, profit and loss. Most owners open this report and go straight to revenue. If revenue is up, it feels good. If it's down, it feels tense. Then they scroll to the bottom to see if there's profit. That's surface level reading. The income statement is not a scoreboard, it's an x-ray. It tells you whether the structure of your practice is stable. Are payroll costs slowly rising as a percentage of revenue? That doesn't usually happen in a dramatic spike. It creeps over several months. A raise here, a few extra hours there, a hire that felt manageable at the time. Are cost of goods percentages consistent, or are supply costs expanding faster than production growth? If your net income or is your net income relatively predictable, or does it swing dramatically month to month without explanation? When you review your income statement monthly, you're not asking, did we make money? You're asking, is our structure tightening? Because if margins compress quietly for 6 months, that's not a bookkeeping issue. That's a pricing, staffing, or operational decision waiting to be made. That's a signal. The second report that matters monthly is your cash flow statement. And this is where a lot of veterinary practices get blindsided. You can be profitable on paper and still feel constantly tight. That's because profitability and liquidity are not the same thing. Your income statement runs on accrual accounting. Your life runs on cash. Payroll drafts every 2 weeks, loan payments hit automatically, inventory is ordered before clients pay, equipment leases stack up, growth requires cash before it generates it. Your cash flow statement answers a much more practical question than your P&L does. It asks, is this practice generating usable cash from operations, or is it consuming it? If your cash from operations is weak or negative, even in a profitable month, that's a sustainability warning. It doesn't mean you need to panic. It means you need to investigate your timing, your debt load, and purchasing patterns before you expand or hire. Cash flow protects you from making growth decisions based purely on revenue. That's a signal. The third report most practices ignore monthly is accounts receivable aging. In veterinary medicine, especially with wellness plans, in-house financing, or payment flexibility, AR becomes a reflection of policy discipline. Revenue booked is not revenue collected. If balances are consistently paid within 30 days, your systems are strong. If 60 and 90-day balances are creeping upward month after month, that's not random, that's cultural drift. Maybe policies are being enforced inconsistently. Maybe follow-up is delayed. Maybe front desk conversations are getting softer. An expanding AR report creates the illusion of growth. It looks healthy on paper, but cash stress shows up later. When your AR is controlled, you can trust your revenue. When your AR balloons, you're financing care without realizing it. That's also a signal. Now, let's talk about what usually doesn't need your monthly energy. The detailed general ledger is a diagnostic tool, not a leadership tool. You dive into it when something looks wrong, not as a routine exercise. Massive KPI dashboards with dozens of color-coded metrics often look impressive, but rarely drive monthly structural decisions. Vendor by vendor expense breakdowns matter strategically, but they don't typically change behavior every 4 weeks. Benchmark comparisons against national veterinary averages are valuable, but monthly comparisons cause emotional swings more than strategic clarity. Line by line budget variance reports with dozens of accounts create micromanagement, not leadership. Your daily production summaries matter when restructuring scheduling, but not as a monthly obsession. And then your loan amortization schedules are important for long-term planning, but staring at them monthly doesn't change the payment schedule. The test is simple. Did this report change a decision this month? If not, it's just noise. The goal is not to become obsessed with numbers, it's to become decisive. When you narrow your focus to 3 reports, structural profitability, cash sustainability, and collection discipline, you gain leverage. You stop reacting emotionally to slow weeks. You stop confusing busyness with profitability. You stop hesitating on pricing, hiring, and owner pay because you feel uncertain. Instead, once a month, you sit down, you review structure, you review liquidity, you review collections. Then you make one clear decision. That is financial leadership. And that's how veterinary practice owners move from feeling overwhelmed by data to feeling confident in direction. If what we covered today highlighted gaps, uncertainty, or even just a sense that things could feel more organized, that's completely normal. Most veterinarians aren't missing effort, they're missing clarity. The challenge isn't knowing more strategies, it's understanding how your income, personal finances, and cash flow actually work together in real life. If you want help applying this to your actual numbers, you can book a free profit and cash flow analysis. We'll walk through your income and cash flow, identify what's working, where money may be leaking, and map out clear, practical next steps. No pressure, no jargon, and no unnecessary digging into your practice books. This isn't about changing everything, it's about understanding what your current structure is actually telling you. You can grab a free time at the link I'm going to drop in the comments. Okay. Before you go, I want to share an incredible resource that's been designed to elevate your veterinary practice's financial success. I put together a free ebook just for you. It's called 7 Financial Strategies. Inside, you'll discover practical steps to increase your profitability, improve your cash flow, and make smarter financial decisions for your practice. You can grab your free copy in the comments. All right, that's it for today. If this helped, please pass it along to another veterinarian owner who could use a clearer picture of their numbers. And if you're ready to get yours dialed in, go ahead and book that free profit and cash flow analysis. See you next time.